103.5 FM.
This is Honor 103.5 FM. Up next is Hard Copy.
Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Hard Copy on Honor 103.5 FM. So this is the midweek edition of the program on this dial. Good governance, this refers to all processes of governing, the institutions, processes and practices through which issues of common concern are decided upon regulated. Good governance adds a normative and evaluative attribute to the process of governing. So on this edition of Hard Copy, on this dial, we talk extensively about opinions of newspapers. So we'll be talking about what columnists actually believe should be done, and then their opinions will be dissected on this show. I have with me in the studio this afternoon seasoned analysts, people who know their onions, and they will be doing justice together with me with interesting stories and of course opinions, experts' opinions on certain issues. So I've got the Leadership newspaper, the Guardian, Punch newspapers. I've got Premium Times, and of course I have Daily Trust with me. I have The Nation and New Telegraph. These are the headlines we'll be talking about. Newspapers will be getting into basically. But then there's this particular story on the Leadership. So that's the opinion of the editor of the Leadership newspaper this afternoon. He says, as Tinubu puts security on the table, he believes that days after admonishing service chiefs to work in synergy and collaboratively in their assigned duties, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has come out again to charge the nation's security apparatus to keep their eyes on the ball as they carry on with the challenge of providing adequate security for lives and properties in Nigeria. At the meeting with the heads of service chiefs, he made it clear that his administration will not tolerate the observed interagency wranglings that marred the war on terror in the last administration. As Muhammadu Buhari, the unfortunate development left Nigerians at the mercy of criminal elements, kidnappers, bandits, terrorists, and other street urchins who took advantage of the near absence of dependable security check to unleash mayhem on the people, making life and living a hellish experience. Okay, so that's one story on the opinion of the Leadership newspaper this afternoon. I've also got one from the Guardian. Of course, this one actually started with okay, so there's this graphics. I wish I can show you this, but then after billions spent to capture power, so there's the other guy is asking, so what? And then he says, right now he's not thinking about Milk Day. Okay, so it's basically a question being thrown from one hand to the other. So the era of blame game. And then when we talk about the Punch this afternoon, Abiodun arrests Ogun's descent into violence. So he is of the opinion that violence and criminality are rising in Ogun State. I think we should start from here this afternoon, as reports come in daily of its descent into lawlessness, preventable deaths arising from ritual, cults, and herders. Violence have occurred in Shagamu, where criminals recently slaughtered 3 persons. The youthful killers reportedly belonged to the higher and higher cult gangs. I don't want to go into that. And has locked arms in a supremacy battle fought in broad daylight. Governor Dapo Abiodun must shake off his lethargy and adopt vigorous strategies to secure lives and properties. Okay, so at this point, I'll have to bring on board my analyst this afternoon. I've got Comrade Moyo Soreolua Olamileko Idris. Is here with me this afternoon. And of course, I also have a barrister at law, someone who knows exactly how to do justice to interesting stories making the rounds on the pages of the newspaper. Okay, Barrister Tolulokwe is with me this afternoon.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so we want to talk about this particular story on the Punch, the opinion of the Punch newspaper this afternoon. It's more or less like an advice to Governor Dapo Abiodun to arrest Ogun's descent into violence. Looks like the governor is finding it difficult to arrest situations and nip it in the bud before it becomes a major problem. We've had issues in certain parts of the country where insecurity is the order of the day, and then it started somehow. And it's more or less like they are telling Dapo Abiodun now that if you don't want Ogun State to go that path, you have to arrest and nip it in the bud before it becomes, a major problem. Basically, there's this issue which is becoming a problem in Ogun State. Cult groups, fighting, and then it's more or less like a supremacy battle, and it's not even a thing they do behind closed doors anymore. It's becoming the order of the day. How do you expect the governor to arrest this?
Well, thank you very much, and good afternoon to our listeners. One thing that the governor must come to do, which I agree with the Punch editorial this afternoon, is that the governor must rise up to this challenge. It's a challenge, and sometimes the security, this evidently shows that the security plan of Ogun State as it stands right now is not capturing these new occurrences. So it means that the governor has to go back, look at the laws that is available, because that's one of the things that is the chief security officer of the state. He needs to rise up to it. And at one or 2 points, let me make reference to Oyo State, that at 1 or 2 points the governor here was able to also deploy Amoteco to collaborate with the police to address some of these issues, because when you talk about cultism, you begin to talk about certain areas that might be cultural in a way, which one of the reasons why Amoteco has also been able to come to stay is that cultural aspect that it also has. So it's a call to action on the governor, and he must rise up to it immediately, because if everybody begins to say I need to defend myself, then there will be anarchy in the state. So that's my take. I totally agree with this opinion that the governor needs to rise up, and needs to rise up now before it gets out of hand.
Okay, Moyo, sorry, your take on this.
Of course, it's well spoken of, and then I think it's time for Mr. Governor, since he has given his re-election bid and it's been sworn in, so he should take the bull by the horn and actively make the local security, that is Amoteco, to do their work, because they are one of the security agencies that can.
It's basically talking about series of events that have happened in Ogun State. Cultism,
of course,
ritual killing,
yes,
thuggery, kidnapping, and other criminal.
It's been so paramount in that Ogun State, and we share border too with Oyo State. So there is urgent need for the Mr. Governor to rise to that situation.
The editor is actually talking about one major issue. He said from Hada's attack in various communities, including Ibeku village, Ketuland, and the Yewa North LGA, River Transport Union members clashes in Etori, Ewekoro LGA, and senseless killings fueled by cultists and hoodlums in Ogun. is ruling. Notoriously, on July 7th of every year, coach named 7-7 by cultists, hoodlums unfailingly unleash mayhem on residents and passers-by across the state. Dismayingly, all that the police do is to warn residents ahead of the attacks instead of professionally taking measures to provide adequate security for the people. Okay, so the governor is not doing enough, according to him. It feels like instead of you telling the people to avoid going out or avoid certain things on the day, why can't you just make some arrests? You know, put some people to justice.
Yes, yes, yes. You know, one of the things about justice is the fact that justice goes in hand to be deterrent. So that you can deter other people. You can show an example and say, okay, this is what will be done if you violate the law. So if an arrest has not been made, if certain names are being called out and the police has not been able to do anything, Amotekun has not been able to assist, then it means that in Ogun we are presenting the law has been weak. And before you know it, every community will rise up to say, let us defend ourselves. And by the time that happens, then there is anarchy. So it's time for the governor to rise up and tax the police, the Amotekun, come together. Let there be a solution to this, because it will ultimately affect the economy of the state.
Okay.
Because it will come to a point where investors, companies will get agitated. And say,
they would want to leave.
They won't want to leave. They will tell their staff, just stay at home till this is solved. So before it gets to that point where it will affect the economy of the state, the governor needs to rise up now.
Okay, so there is this opinion on Premium Times newspaper this morning, this afternoon rather, and it says, when preparation meets leadership, Tinubu happens, by Frederick Wabufo. Okay, so let me take the first few paragraphs. The past 1 week has been one of the most momentous in the life of the nation. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu dared the undared and triumphed. He passed the naughty test of leadership, the first of its kind, under a haze of truth or strike by labor unions over the abrogation of petrol subsidy. President fearless leadership, preparation and attunement. When preparation meets leadership, then Tinubu happens. So that was the catchy one there. So when he's talking about petrol subsidy, he said with mounting national debts, desiccating revenue, hemorrhaging economy, corruption and shadowy sectorial enterprise, the removal of subsidy on petrol is coming at an auspicious time. It is either slither down the snaky tunnel of to certain economic peril, or we back up, pull together and confront this boogeyman menacing us for decades. So they see the fuel subsidy issue as a boogeyman that has been menacing the nation for decades. Okay, so it feels like at a point when everyone thought things were going to be torn apart, and then Tinubu happened, and then even in the face of all sort of controversies, people saying, okay, we are going to go on industrial action. If you remove oil subsidy, we want 200,000 naira minimum wage. And all of a sudden, TUC, NLC, they are backing out of the proposed strike action.
Yeah.
Is it that Tinubu knows exactly how to key into all ideas and say, look, come here, this is exactly what we have to do?
One thing is I must give it to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he has displayed a level of leadership, and he has also displayed someone ready for the job.
For the job, okay.
He understands. He has displayed someone who understands what is going to happen. It's more like a card.
Okay, you are saying he anticipated this. He knew exactly what was going to happen, and he prepared.
He prepared for it. Now, NLC, I came across a judgment of the court, a ruling of the court, an application stopping
them from going on strike action.
Pending when the federal, that's proactive on the part of the presidency. To see that, okay, we are not saying that we understand what subsidy will do. We understand that it will cause a level of hardship at point. but we will work to cushion it. Pending that time, let us hold on. Don't yet with the big stick rather. You understand? Because even before you come to strike, have you dialogued? Have you done so many things? So I must give you that. Yes, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu appears to be someone who is prepared, who has done his homework well, and we are now seeing it. Because you look at it and you say his appearance over time is just less than 1 week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, around a week. Just over a week.
But we are feeling his effect. We are feeling what he's doing. It might not be totally to what we want now, but we are hearing so many things about this subsidy now that is making us to say that it's for the betterment of the nation.
Okay, so let me quickly go, before I take your opinion, Moyo, sorry, let's go on a short commercial break. So when we return, Red Lines, ad copy continues on this dial.
On 103.5 FM.
You fit fly.
Do you know the key to unlock your dreams of traveling abroad to different destinations like USA, Canada, UK, Australia, and other countries in Europe is at your doorstep?
All you need do is just pitch your tent with You Fit Fly, and we shall show you the world in comfort. Oh yes, we're still leading in ticketing, flight reservation, airport transfer, special vacation, hotel reservation, international travel consulting, tour package, travel insurance, and holy pilgrimage, and others.
If you therefore wish to study abroad or travel to different countries around the world, we are here to give you that opportunity.
At You Fit Fly office, Success House, 7 Up Road, Oluyole Main Estate, Ring Road, Ibadan. Telephone 080-9300-2096. Website www.youfitfly.com. With You Fit Fly, you shall see the world in comfort.
Do you need a reliable and super fast unlimited internet for your business and home use? If yes, iWorld Networks is your solution with our uptime affordable internet via fixed broadband. No data caps and throttling. You can enjoy your distance learning, business meetings, and family time with our reliable internet. With 24/7 proactive customer support and 99.8% uptime. We also provide connectivity for offices, schools, financial services, hotels, government, etc. We guarantee super fast Wi-Fi 6 technology for residential, SMEs, and enterprise businesses. Chat with us on www.iwn.ng. iWorld Networks, we've got you covered. Sign up and get connected today.
On 103.5 FM.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. The show is still hard copy on 103.5 FM. Okay, still talking about this interesting story. Talking about the preparedness of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let me take this particular paragraph. Tough decisions are expected. President Tinubu affirmed a fait accompli when he said in his inaugural address, the petrol subsidy is gone. The Petroleum Industry Act, PIA 2021, signed by former President Buhari, already made the petrol subsidy regime inoperative, although the effect or abolishment of the scheme was delayed until the end of June 2023. There are no funds to finance this deficit. Okay, so Moyo, sorry. Basically, the president knew exactly what was to come. So he made that clear during his inaugural speech, saying, even before the election, while he was campaigning, he said, no matter how long you protest, whatever it is, if you like, vote for me. If you like, don't vote. But then if I become your president, I'm going to remove fuel subsidy. And then he reiterated that fact during his inaugural speech, saying so fuel subsidy is gone. Because there's no provision after June. There's no provision for June 2023. There's no provision for fuel subsidy. in
The budget.
The budget. So basically, he knew what was going to happen. Are you saying he worked hand in hand with the present administration to see to the fact that, look, I'm coming in, I am not going to, provide subsidy for petrol, but then you can remove it, and if you don't want to remove it, if I come on board, I'll do it myself. So he's been prepared all along.
Of course, I'm going to start by making reference to our neighbor here, Angola. They have also done the same thing, and then their approach was to make sure that they remove subsidy for some categories of people, the transport, the farmers, and all that.
Okay.
And you see, when you are building a house, from the foundation to the laying of blocks, you actually look at a plan or the drawings. So actually make sure that they make room for where the kitchen is going to be and the likes like that. And along the line where we are building up, you will not appreciate it until the whole
a later
thing
time
is done. The lintel, window, plastering. You won't, it won't be beautiful enough to say, okay, this is becoming a house until then. Now, what we are saying here is that for me, as Nigerians, we should give it to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a man who understood how Nigeria is supposed to work. Everything that was done under President Muhammadu Buhari is not new to Mr. President.
So he knew everything.
So he understood. So whatever game that has happened in the past, in the last administration, is equally well informed.
Okay.
And so, that's why you discover that at every single day is making move. He's not resting. I had a news this morning or last night that says Mr. President closed at about 8:37 p.m. So some of these steps that he has taken since over a week now, we've never had that kind of leadership steps. Today is meeting the Nigeria Governors Forum to also discuss. It tells you that it means business and it's not business as usual. So on the removal of subsidy, 100% I'm in support. Nigerians too, they are in support. They just need a palliative, something to
cushion the
meet
effects.
up with. Today, in the last 3 days, I know how much of fuel I've consumed. If I'm going to travel to Okeogun now, my car is going to have a fill up. It's going to take up to 30,000 naira, which before I would spend less than 10,000 to fill up my tank. And so now it's about 30,000 naira. It's quite amazing. So if some of this subsidy is being, taken care of from maybe salary, market price and all that, which we've not even had some inflation now. Maybe by 2 weeks' time, some of this will start coming up. So for me, Mr. President is in the right direction, and the 100% the removal of subsidy, I am in support. Only that the only thing I didn't really appreciate was that, of course, subsidy has been paid to the end of June.
Okay.
And so they've started effecting it before June.
Probably they want you to get accustomed to the fact that no subsidy.
The whole of June to prepare. In fact, by July they should begin the subsidy.
Okay, Barrister, you have something to add.
Yeah, that's one of the issues I have with this issue about fuel subsidy.
Okay.
I think Nigerians are not being put in the light.
They're not being considered somehow.
Not even about being considered. Transparency. Thank you. Transparency. Let us know how much. There's a figure. NNPC comes out and say this is the figure. There's a figure. Then last administration was saying this is the figure. What exactly are we looking at?
Okay.
Now NNPC is saying that for some years now they've not been paid. Federal government is owing them this so amount and all that. So let there be transparency on this issue, because if there was a word that by June, that's when the end of June, that's when subsidy will be fully removed. Then why are we getting to May ending, beginning of June, and then that's when we are having the first subsidy fully
and again,
removed?
if not for Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that made us to understand that the subsidy was actually paid till the end of June. The last administration did not tell us that.
So that
there
transparency
was
must be there.
Trust deficit in the administrations. And so that's why you see the government of Oyo State, every time they bring out the project, they will quote the figure. You can argue it, you can criticize it as okay, we are spending so amount also. What is the big deal there? Why can't they, is it not our money? Is it their grandfather's money or their parents' money or their business money? They are serving us. We should know what they are using our money to do. They are taxing. I am paying tax in Nigeria, in Oyo State. I am paying tax. So it is my money. If you do a road, you are not doing me a favor.
What if
you make whatever, you are not doing me a favor.
What if such declaration brings about loss of concentration? People tend, if people know too much, they tend to distract you.
It's not about knowing too
all
much.
Sort of things.
No. It's about transparency. Is about carrying your people along.
Yes.
You are there because of us. We are Nigerians. They are also Nigerians. Equally, all of us has the right to become president, vice president,
but just know
senator.
That leaders have to take difficult decisions on your behalf. That's why they are there.
Then we should be informed.
It's all about leadership. Is all about winning the trust of your people.
Okay.
It's not just about you rolling out policies. It's because there are people that trust you enough to vote for you, cast their vote for you, and then you are their president, and there's no agitation.
Okay.
So President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not president just over those that voted for him. He's president over everybody.
Everyone.
So for me, towards the what we have been experiencing in these few days has shown a government that is ready to be transparent.
Okay.
To an extent. It might not be a full score, but we are better off from where we are coming from, where we didn't even know what exactly is happening. What is it about the fuel subsidy? What is it about? But let us also know the figures. Let us also be able to say that, okay, because I was in my head just cracking and say, okay, at a certain point, the last increment in fuel that we had, they said the 50% has been removed. Then now, if it is removed fully, should we hit the point of 500 naira? Should we hit the point where we are buying it at the price we are buying it now? So we need to come to a point where we can be able to say, okay, I know what the government is doing, and I'm persuaded that this is what they are doing now. So if that transparency is there, the trust of the people in the government now,
okay.
people have faith in this subsidy thing. There's no protest going on, not because people are not feeling the hardship, but to an extent there's this reasoning card being played that, okay, from the federal government, reason with us, this is why we want to do this.
Okay.
So when that is there, everybody will be able to reason along and say, okay, if you say that this money is going somewhere else and we are not benefiting from it, all right, remove it and let's have other things that we can benefit from.
Okay, so are you saying Nigerians are polarized over this decision?
You see, we must come to the reality.
Okay.
I mean, maybe NNPC or one of their spokesperson have said that the amount they paid for fuel subsidy about 1 month is about almost 4 billion naira in a month, and in a year it can build a refinery. So what are we talking about here? What is the big deal here?
There was this news I had that the president has made it clear that by the end of 2023 that one of the hailing refineries will be brought back to life.
Yeah, of course, that's why they are calling for investors, public-private partnership, AFPPA and all that. This is what a leader supposed to do. A leader, you reason along with your people, because you are not only there because of yourself.
Yeah.
And whatever policies you are going to make to affect the people must not be centered on the majority. Okay. Because at the end of the day, they can afford this fare we are talking about. They can. Okay, you want to tell me that the kind of rice you are eating is the kind of rice Mr. President is going to eat? Or former vice president and the likes like
rice that. Is rice.
Now, as a matter of fact,
don't they go to market?
Rice is not rice. Rice is not rice. So, as far as I'm concerned, as I'm sitting here, what Mr. President, the kind of rice Mr. President is going to eat is not the type of rice we eat.
Are you saying he's going to import rice into Nigeria?
He knows the kind
it's
of rice.
It's the same rice we buy in the market.
He won't eat the kind of rice I'm going to eat. Rice is not rice. Ask him. Mr. President should come and say, oh, this is the kind of rice
Maybe until the president shows us that.
Until we get to know where he buys his own rice.
So that's no. That's why some of them they will not let us know that this is how much they get for allowance, wardrobe, and are we not supposed to know?
But then it was made clear during the last administration. They told us they slashed their salaries, president and vice president.
You know, the thing is, we are still running a heavy
analog governance.
Yeah, and then the cost of governance is too
Too high. Okay.
And I think that's one of the issues of many people, that yes, if you are saying you want to remove first subsidy, it's going to affect many people right now.
We are let us charge this 10th assembly to work on it.
You understand? It's going to affect. It's going to affect
They
them.
should start from their own salary.
What about the leaders? Is it affecting? Are you feeling what the people are also feeling?
Yes, we call them leaders, but they were once one of us.
Exactly.
There will still be one of us, Mr. President, past president, Mr. President Momowa. He's now one of us.
He's back in
When
Dara.
he was in his house and he was asking somebody and say, why is this AC not working? Is he not back to the majority style? He's back there, but alas, he will still fix that AC.
But let's not remove one fact. That whether an ex-president, you still enjoy certain levels.
He's on pension now.
He's on pension.
Some privileges.
His pension
Some
will not be
privileges.
delayed like the poor man on the street.
At
whose
all.
pension is delayed.
At all.
We may never know. There's a possibility that they pay at the same time.
Well, we
don't know.
We may never know.
We don't have that information.
But let's just my home point is that we come to a point where what we need to reduce the cost of governance.
Okay.
It needs to come down. The sitting allowance, and for me, for so much
Okay,
time,
so should we say they should cut down on the representatives we have?
the representatives are okay.
They're okay.
Okay, but then the allowances they get.
Even me, I am also charging Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Okay.
Leave a legacy that maybe from today, Mr. Governor of your state has also done it before.
Okay, you
donate your salary, your allowance. After all, his wife has said that
they are
look,
richer.
they are rich. They are not coming to amass wealth with the Nigerians' money. He should donate his salary, his allowance,
so
his
basically, you are saying
to Nigerians.
governance should be less attractive to people who are going there just for money.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's go on a short commercial break. Okay, when we return, the copy continues on Honor 103.5 FM.
103.5 FM.
Do you wish to have fun on the Champions League night? Then worry less, as Honor 103.5 FM and Maracana Lounge and Bar present to you Champions League Hangout. Venue, Maracana Lounge and Bar, Awolowo Road, Old Bodija, Ibadan. Date, Saturday, June 10, 2023. Time, 7 p.m. It will be entertainment galore as Tayo King will be on the bandstand and you get to meet your favorite OAPs on Honor 103.5 FM. Obadari Oladoshu, Eniola Folabi, Samson Balogun, Akadebidemi Oragba, and a host of others. Watch the Champions League match live between Manchester City and Inter Milan and you get to rub shoulders with your favorite OAPs and celebrities all around Ibadan. The Champions League game will be watched live on a big screen. Admission is free. Powered by Immaculate Multimedia. Honor FM Maracana Champions League Hangout. Enjoyment has just begun.
Be you, be honorable. Listen to Honor FM 103.5 Ibadan. To be with honorable people, you must be honorable yourself. Log on to Honor FM 103.5 Ibadan.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. The show is hard copy on Honor 103.5 FM, and we've been discussing editorials of major newspapers this afternoon. And I've got seasoned analyst with me. I've got Muyo Sorelu and of course Barrister, who has been, talking tough about certain things. But then let me take this particular story. We all know him. He's the current, unless he goes tomorrow, is the current Speaker of the House of Assembly. But of course, he's on the editorial for New Telegraph this afternoon, bowing out in style. This man has been there for God knows how long. It is just like yesterday that Rep. Femi Gbajabiamila took over the mantle of leadership as the Speaker of the Ninth House of Representatives. 4 years down the line, Gbajabiamila is leaving the office fulfilled. He was returning to the House for the 5th term back in 2019, and after an unsuccessful attempt to become the Speaker 4 years earlier, in 2015, he clinched the position in an unprecedented manner by polling 281 votes to defeat his opponent back then, Mohamed Umar Bago, who is now the governor of Niger State. Okay, luckily for him, June 11, 2019 was a day to remember in Nigeria's history, because that was the day that the Nigerian parliament, for the first time, got someone who had occupied both the minority and majority leadership positions in our history elected as Speaker. So he's broken some history there. Having garnered experience from both sides of the divide, Gbajabiamila was truly prepared for the job ahead of him. In his inaugural speech, Gbajabiamila promised to do things differently and shake the table a little. So, talking about preparedness this afternoon, this man has gotten an appointment from the federal government to be the chief of staff of the new president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But there is one thing that I want to mention about this man. He's been there. He's more or less like a kitchen cabinet member for Asiwaju. He's one of the seeds he planted. And now, I don't think anyone complained about his appointment. Is it because he's, people see him as competent? Like, okay, he's been there and they believe he can deliver. Even when he was mentioned, I don't see any form of a revolt towards that. People just assumed, yes, I think the president has made the right decision.
Well, I think he has his track record. And he's been there. And I think it's a very wise decision from the president, because you bring in a parliamentarian.
He was once the minority leader, was the majority leader, and of course he became the speaker.
So we are looking
5 times.
We are looking at a federal government that will have a robust interaction with the house, because I'm very sure he'll be able to bring that to play. And the only thing I have personally is the fact that the last administration, the 9th Assembly, I didn't really see so much of the House in terms of being a check to the executive. Okay. I didn't really see that. I just saw a House that became like a rubber stamp. Whatever the president is doing, there was no checkmating, there was nothing to really hold them. That's okay, you need to be answerable for certain things, except for that. But in the fact that in the personality of Femi Gbajabiamila, it's a good choice, and he's someone that is experienced about it, and I'm very sure that it will help in the executive legislature relationship.
Okay, let's try and pick 1 or 2 calls before we call it a day on today's show. 09151035555. 09151035555. You can also call 0704-800-1035. 070-4800-1035. To you, Moyo, sorry. The editor actually mentioned the fact that Gbajabiamila will be bowing out of the assembly, a fulfilled man. Has he fulfilled anything?
Of course, to him, he has fulfilled his ambition. You can also say he has fulfilled righteousness to Nigerians. Well, I must let you know that he's an experienced man, and he know that he got the experience. So we saw it coming, we saw it coming, and that's why you also discovered that ever since the president was elected, you've been seeing him, following him. So we saw it coming, and he's a big loyalist of Mr. President.
The news broke even before anyone could say. Even it became official.
Even when it became official, he was even interviewed, and he said they were congratulating him, and he said until it is official. So, I mean, his competency, his loyalty to Mr. President, even before now, I mean, paid me for him. And for the 9th Assembly, for me, if I'm to rate him as a speaker, minority, majority, and also a speaker. I would say less than 40%.
Okay.
I can also say that there's something that baffles me about the green chamber and the red chamber. When the green chamber is putting volume high, the red chamber reduces it.
Okay.
So you cannot actually give appraiser to the green chamber under the leadership of the Right Honorable Ojabi Miller, unlike the Senate. So if both of them has that equal right of, even if the Senate accepts, the reps can reject, and vice versa, it would have been better. But when the green chamber checks and say no, the red chamber can say yes, which actually will not prove that yes, the green chamber has actually done.
Is Bajabi Amila an important cog in the machine Asiwaju Bola Ahmed is building?
Of course.
Yes, he is.
Of course.
He is.
Back in the days, like I said, when Mr. President was a governor in Lagos State,
because he will be rolling so many responsibilities.
So many. And
being the chief of staff, there are so many offices attached to it.
He's the most experienced staff of
the president needs someone erased.
Okay.
That actually
knows
lawyer.
Okay.
That is lawyer that can do the job for him as he is there, as if he is there. So he needs that. So
how happy can a man be when you have what you need, at your disposal?
Of course.
He will be at rest.
You can just go to sleep.
He will be at rest.
Okay, so gentlemen, our time is fast spent on today's edition of Hard Copy on Honor 103.5 FM. This is that show where we discuss editorials from different newspapers. Okay, so we've discussed about stories from the New Telegraph, the Punch newspapers, and of course we had to do with the Leadership, the Guardian, and the Nation newspaper. So this will be the convenient time to draw the curtains on today's edition of Hard Copy on Honor 103.5. Your parting shots, Barrister Tolulokwe.
Well, the word to everyone is that we should just stay calm. I'm very sure that this administration will be fruitful and will bring us much more joy than we have experienced.
Okay, so sorry.
My name once again is Dignified Comrade Moyo. Sorry.
Okay, so
So, Mr. President, please, I charge you to do the right thing, and to the 10th Assembly, both the Green Chamber and the Red Chamber, please do things that will conscience will break you.
Okay, so that's their parting shot. Until Saturday, when we shall be meeting on the Saturday edition of Hard Copy on Honor 103.5 FM. That will be okay, so 10 to 11:30 on Saturday. Okay, my name is Samson Balogun, and then you'll be joining me on that particular edition. Bye for now. I'm out of here.